Let's have a moment of silence for the Wii U. Now switch! Welcome to Night Block. Okay, well, greetings, fellow stargazers.
Hello.
We're kind of doing a new thing here.
Yeah, we're trying something else out here.
I'm gonna talk to you as much as I talk to you. Understood? You, universal you, grand royal we, them.
This is us.
YouTube, us tube, and you two. I don't really like the band U2. Have we talked about that?
I just like the one song that everybody else likes.
Which one's that?
Beautiful Day.
Oh, Beautiful Day. Okay.
I mean, it's catchy. I mean, it doesn't change my life.
No, it changes people's lives. Like, I think that people literally had that moment where what you and I will consider our child's birth was them listening to Beautiful Day for the first time. And that's either very cool or very sad.
I think I heard it in a commercial.
That's very cool.
For, like, something...
Was it an awesome car?
Probably.
That would change my life.
Probably a car.
Yeah.
Didn't change my life. Like, I like that song. I wonder who sings that song. And then I found out in college, like, years later.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't like it enough to, like, seek it out that much.
Sure. Well, you know, something that I heard, a really good song on a commercial was the new Imagine Dragons song, Believer. Okay. Take me up, you burn me down, believer. I can't sing any more than that because we'll probably have to pay rights for it.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was the commercial for the Nintendo Switch.
That's a song that they use.
Yep. And it was during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the kid's laying in bed and he grabs his Nintendo Switch and starts playing Breath of the Wild. And I was just like...
I'm a believer.
I was like, this song's amazing. The Switch is amazing. And I didn't even have it yet. It's just, I was so geeked out at that point. And lo and behold, we've had one for a few days, right? We let it sink in before we decided to sit down and really review this thing.
Yes.
And we've both been playing Breath of the Wild like crazy people.
Yes.
And... let's talk about it. Okay.
All right. Well, this one's mine. I mean, I had to get the special edition.
I did too. I have the Sheik upstairs. Yeah.
Because I've never had a Zelda themed console.
No.
And I know you're not gonna like this isn't like a Zelda themed console, but I knew I was gonna want a carrying case for it, and I saw that Zelda came with it. I'm like, gotta get that.
Yeah. Well, I went to Walmart the night of, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's this group of people. They seemed really nice. And there was a guy there, and he was telling this story, and he was like, we went to Target for the Wii, is what he was saying, and we were out and it was cold and it was hailing and everything. And I'm sitting there, I remember I was at Target too, so I'm just listening to a story. I was just interested, what you had to say. And he was like, and we're all there miserable and when no one's happy and we're all just freezing to death. And these three kids, they're heroes. They bring out a propane heater. And I was like, dude, that was us. Like and he was like, oh, I know you. And we ended up knowing each other from church and he knew my dad back in the day. And we had this long history. We talked for like an hour. Anyways, the people there, they all wanted a Switch, but I already had one ordered from Amazon.
Yeah. And
I was like, guys, I'm just here for a limited edition Zelda. And they're all like, cool, well, there's one more. We don't want it. And I was like, dibs,
Yeah.
And so that was all I wanted, So I hung out there and got it. And I got home. My Switch was still in the mail. So I just opened up Zelda and just... I
saw the Facebook post.
I just looked at it. I looked at that and I just held it for a minute. And I flipped the coin a couple times. And then
I haven't even opened up the coin. I haven't opened up the map.
Yeah.
Because I got mine... This is what happened. I got mine. I pre-ordered at Best Buy for like in-store pickup.
Yeah. Okay.
So I get to the in-store pickup. I just immediately picked it up, but it was two separate transactions. So it took a little while to get the actual Switch, and I walked out and realized I'm an idiot. I didn't pick up Zelda. What am I supposed to do with this?
No.
So I had to turn around and go back and like, I have another pre-order code. Because in my excitement, it's like, I don't have anything to play.
Right, yeah.
Because I didn't get the red and blue version because I noticed they're on the wrong side for that. So I got like a pair of controllers because there's like a bunch of reward zone points.
Sure,
to do it.
okay.
I wanted the colors because I like color stuff.
Okay.
So I bought like the extra controllers to have the colors in there.
Well, that's cool.
And so like, because I had to do the pre-order and then I had to like do a separate transaction for the controller.
And then you had to do another pre-order.
And then I walked out and realized it took so long because there's like a guy in front of me trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I walked out like, I forgot Zelda. I'm an idiot. Like, I pre-ordered both. But like, they said, we'll get you a big bag. They're putting things in the big bag. And I just assumed like there should be in there. I'm looking in there like, this is overly huge box for Zelda.
Oh, it was massive. It was bigger than the Switch.
Yes. And so I looked at it like, there's only one big box in here. Okay, let's go get it. You're an idiot, Alex.
One for two.
Yeah.
One for two.
So,
well, that's the thing is, so You were going to go home with a console, no game. I came home with a game and no console. We really just should have met up in the middle and hung out for a bit and played the darn thing.
I think you probably got the console at the same time by the time I got it.
By the time you got it, I think so. So anyways, first impressions were amazing.
Yes.
I mean, because the first time I played it was handheld mode. What I did is I met up with some friends who had gotten it as well. At a friend's house, he already had it docked, so we didn't have a choice. But I will say it was the easiest LAN party I've ever had. It was on. That was it. And it was a console, but it felt like a handheld. Yeah, it started to like move into 3DS mode. Like my brain was saying, like, I was carrying it around with one hand, putting it under my arm and stuff, and I was like, wait a second. I have to treat this like a console. Because right now, it's kind of like I'm in toy mode,
Yeah.
Like, I'd grab this and just put it in my pocket and run out. Now I always put it in the case. Like, I'm very cautious. But that first night, I was on such a high of just like, I can just grab it and go, that I was very careless,
Mm-hmm.
But then the second I turned it on and started playing, just how the high fidelity of the image and the response of the controllers and the haptic feedback while it's in tablet mode, like, is unrivaled. I've never held anything like it. Like, I even tried the Shield at PAX one year, and this feels better than the Shield by far.
Oh yeah.
And ever since then, like, I've been trying to poke holes in it. I've been like, there's something wrong with this. Like, I'm like, is it getting hot? I put my right here where you've got, the radiation coming out. No.
The radiation.
Radiation.
Mutates you.
Yeah. It mutates your face. No, it's great. It doesn't get too hot unless you're charging it and playing at the same time. Battery gets hot. Otherwise, the only time the fan really kicked on for me was during a system update, the day one update.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's been super quiet, not too hot. It's not too heavy. My arm only kind of falls asleep when I play in bed, because you do this. You don't get the crab claw like when I'm Monster Hunter. When you played on 3DS, you'd be like, ah!
Oh yeah, like I remember when I first got the 3DS playing Ocarina of Time on it. Like,
yeah,
it hurts.
You start to really get the cramps and everything. Yeah, no, everything about it, the ergonomics of it, I give it like a solid A. Like, I don't have any issues with this thing.
I originally I put it in and I didn't play it in handheld mode right away. Because the first thing I'm going to play Zelda. Mm-hmm. And I just want to experience Zelda Breath of the Wild first time on my TV.
Sure.
Like, it's a good screen, but I want the full version I can on TV with our sound bar that has the surround sound thing.
Sure.
And, and I just love because the only thing I have to play on this is I also bought Shovel Knight because I just love Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah, it's a great game.
And so that way I can have something if I just I need to palate cleanser, play a level in Shovel Knight, but. The cinematic opening of Breath of the Wild, and even the small title, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cinematic. Yeah, it reminds me of some of the things my boss taught me back in my first job in video production. Of if you want something to look cinematic, put the text not super small you can't read it, but small on the screen because it's what movies do. If you have a big screen, you don't need text huge in your face. That's why it's small on the screen, and that makes it the cinematic, intimate feel. Right. And I just loved experiencing the opening, so I did the whole Great Plateau on the TV. But my wife. I'm still recovering from surgery, so she went to visit family in Pittsburgh for a baby shower. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
I think it was Skype. Not anybody on Skype, but just Skype.
Skype is actually Skynet. They're watching you.
I think my computer has reached full autonomy. Anonymity. It's anonymous.
And it can think.
Nope.
Anyway.
Nope.
So
I'm sticking with it. Sometimes when you mess up a word, you just gotta have to go with it.
Go with it. You stick with it. Where was I?
This will be on the B-roll, so we'll just cut back in.
Yeah. Anyway, so I might just leave it all in.
Oh, heavens. Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable.
Us.
It's our first podcast.
It's us. Anyway. So I just... They're there.
For anybody who is listening,
Dak.
We found this terribly terrifying version of Dak that is a micro machine.
I'm assuming it's Dak. I think it's generic, but I'm going to call him Dak.
I thought unless
Dak.
is it
Dak
Luke?
had the blue.
Is it Luke?
I hope not.
Maybe I think it is. Actually, just look for a second. There's a bit of Mark Hamill in there.
It's so vaguely Mark Hamill.
Well, it's vaguely human. This thing's terrifying. He's sitting on our desk, and I thought he might be nice, since right now my son actually likes to play with him. I think it is basically a demon, and it will come alive and trip me like an AT-AT.
Good thing it's just a bust. There's nothing. It's just a head.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can kind of...
Just a head.
No. Anyway, so then I stayed with my mom and my wife went
out.
So I took the dog, grabbed this, and hung out with my dad for the weekend and just played in handheld mode, and we watched Snowden.
Snowden. Was it good?
It was very good.
Yeah?
I'm now, like, kind of paranoid, but...
Sure.
Whatever.
Oh, well, you should be. You know what I've recently found out is, and we put it to a test, and you can turn this off in case, you're freaked out by it.
Yeah.
If, like, you and I having a conversation right now, if I had the Facebook app open in my pocket, if we mentioned, like, Hot Pockets...
You'd start getting ads for Hot Pockets?
The second I opened my phone, there would be an ad for Hot Pockets, and it...
Oh my gosh, it explains something.
Yeah.
Like, my wife and I don't even think I had Facebook open at the time on my phone. We were at the bookstore talking about a book that my mom had read.
Uh-huh.
We were trying to see if we could find it, so Hope wanted to read it, my wife. And we couldn't find it, and she told me the name or whatever, and I started seeing ads for it on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. It's listening. And you can turn that off, like, on an app-by-app basis, like the microphone access.
I have to turn that off.
But, like, my brother-in-law and I decided to test it, and we were like, my back hurts. Do you know what I should do? And we opened up Facebook, like, an hour later, and it had, like, chiropractic things and ibuprofen, and it was creepy. It got to the point where it was starting to mess with us. Anyways, the Switch doesn't do that.
No.
The Switch does a lot of things really well,
Not
though.
yet.
Like, when you take that thing in tablet mode, and you pull those off and put it on the dock, and it immediately goes onto your TV, that is a great feeling. And the vice versa of that. The reverse is when you take it out of the tablet mode, and when you snap each of those in, there's a... Listen. It's so gratifying.
And then even if it's actually... Let me
turn turn it on so you hear the snap.
Let me...
Put it up to the mic.
Hold up, let me exit out of my game here.
Listen. Oh,
it's not loud enough.
That's all right. So it does this, like, really gratifying little snap sound. That's kind of like their go-to click. Here, let's try again with the sound up. There it is.
And actually, what's also cool, if you have the colored ones, watch the left side of the screen.
Oh, it goes blue.
And that one will go red.
That's great. We actually ended up, my wife and I'm part of this too, decided we wanted the black ones because we didn't want the mismatch, and I know you bought those separately, but I don't know. Like, when you see it up close, I don't mind it, but it does feel more toyish. But that also feels more Nintendo-ish.
I like colors. I just I'm not like the clash, and they're neon, so they're always going to clash with everything. But part of the other reason I wanted the mismatched colors was I also bought 1-2 Switch. I tried it out by myself for a little bit.
Did you do the gorilla?
No, I was trying to find the marble game because I wanted to feel HD Rebel, and I couldn't find it.
You have to beat you have to play, I think, 5 rounds before it unlocks everything.
Oh, boo! I did 4.
I think you have to do one more.
I did 4
because we played it that night too. And
I wanted to feel it.
I will say those things are super impressive to the point where you really don't look at the TV. You just don't. I mean, the way that you interact is with each other, and that makes it a really interesting party game or tabletop style game, more of a family type thing. And I mean, I won't say that don't go buy it. I'm not saying it's worth $50 if it's if you're gonna decide that or something else.
Yeah.
Unless you're looking for a party game, don't get 1-2 Switch instead of something else. But if you are, it shows off the Joy-Cons like nothing. I mean, it's amazing. The feedback on those, the rumble is amazing, and the depth what it can do just in those tiny controllers is amazing. It really is impressive.
And the reason I wanted to mismatch colors so that way I could quickly slide it off and this one's player 1, this one's player 2.
Yeah.
Just by looking at the colors. So.
Kind of like how on the DualShocks, you're your player red, your player blue type thing. That makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that's honestly the future of games should be each console should have a different way to identify which player you are,
And so that because there's no light on there like another one that old controllers the old Wii U and Wii controllers had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, right.
That kind of work because sometimes the light would spill over from the other ones, but you knew which one you were.
Yeah.
So I just this is an easier way to just
well, the Joy-Con grip has those. The little LED identifiers to say where it is and that.
Yeah, but
but for just the Joy-Cons, it's hard to tell, especially because they're small. Yeah. They are. There's not a lot going on as far as size goes.
So I figured for that, because I'm not going to play a lot of 4-player games, but 2-player stuff, hand it over to my wife or whoever's over.
Yeah.
Do 1-2 Switch, all right, the blue's on the left or right or red's on the left, and there you go.
So what do you think of the UI in general?
It needs work. You could tell they had the hardware nailed down. Mm-hmm. The software, they're just, it needs to work.
Yeah.
I like the minimalistic look. I'm fine with the minimalistic look.
Yeah.
But when I opened up the eShop just to kind of check out eShop, and I know there's not a lot on there right now. There's not a lot of offerings because it's kind of launching the minimal games.
Yeah.
But even the eShop, I'm like, there's like no... Granted, there's nothing too organized, but... It just says recent release. So I thought there was supposed to be a couple more stuff from like that Binding of Isaac studio, and like they're not on there yet.
No.
And I wasn't sure like if the UI just wasn't done, and I looked it up. It's not available yet. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of got delayed out of the launch, but it's
fine.
Yeah,
but yeah. I was kind of like, oh, yeah, this is a shortcoming right now with the software, and also the save issue. Like you can't back up your saves to the SD
you
card
can't.
yet.
It's stuck on the console.
And I'm like, okay, I'm glad you have games set to the account, but.
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild is a big game. I'm gonna want to take my save.
Yes. Well, and my thing is, I'm positive now. I mean, and it wasn't until I owned it that I'm positive that this is a soft launch.
Oh,
like we are a test market that is purely meant for Zelda. Like the other games that are out with it are just kind of like, these already went gold. We'll go ahead and release them. I know that the UI is not done. Obviously, the framework for the online network isn't even close to done because you can't even use it. Not till the summer. The smartphone app isn't done to interact with friends. So, like, as much as I can see what you're on and what you're playing, that's the extent of what we can do together.
Yeah.
Friend codes are still there. I don't think they meant for them to be because they said they weren't. So they still didn't finalize what their actual identifier is going to be for people. So there's a lot of things that aren't done with this console.
No.
But in the end, it doesn't take away from playing the games.
No.
And as far as a Nintendo console is concerned, especially because Zelda, I'm playing alone, I'm isolated on it, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by it. And from what I hear, the local play and things like that with Bomberman and all that work great. And 1-2 Switch worked great. So the gameplay itself is so solid that I think it's okay that we kind of got this unfinished software product because the hardware is amazing.
Oh, yeah. And, things are working on it. Like, don't get me wrong.
No,
things are
yeah.
working on it wonderfully.
Super fast.
Yeah.
Like the jump into the home menu and everything while you're in game and back. Yeah. I mean, it's as fast as the other next-gen consoles.
And even, like, sleep mode, like... I don't think I've quit out of Zelda a few times, but I was put in sleep mode docket. I also have like an extra plug because I know I'm going to be I'll travel with it, so I wanted to get an extra adapter for it. And just putting it in sleep mode, I don't even close out of Zelda most of the time.
It's become just like my 3DS and Vita. Like it's always right where I left it, and my PS4 is usually in standby mode, so it's kind of like that. But all in all, it's such a good gaming system. I'd also confirm, like no achievements, trophies type thing. Like that's a bit of a bummer.
About.
Yeah. Because like the first time that I cooked something, say, and that was like an epic where you get like the top tier and it does like the then it does brun brun brun. You get something cool. And he's like, Hurrah! I was like, if a trophy would have popped just then, I would have felt so good inside just to hear something. And it's okay that it didn't. Like I don't need that in my gaming life.
Yeah.
But there's something special about that I'll miss. And that still has me on the fence with things like Ukulele and Rhyme that are going multi-platform of what I'm going to play it on. Because taking it on the go is a huge plus, but the reason to collect everything for me is usually trophies. It's just, I think they're easier to share that you've done everything or like to just kind of see what everybody else has done without like calling them because we can't even chat with each other on the Switch, using Skype, which apparently my computer really wants me to use, and just being like, hey, did you beat Ukulele? And you're like, yes, I did everything. And you're like, well, prove it. And you're like, okay, I can take single screenshots and share them to you on Twitter or Facebook. Like those are options right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just in its infancy, but it like you said, it works so well that I think they nailed everything they have so far, and now their engineers are just working to the next tiers, and we'll get the final release in the summer probably when they launch the network. But all in all, I'm impressed.
I'm excited for.
I think it was worth every dollar. The price point is totally fair.
Yes.
So if you're worried about that, no, and get in on the ground floor because I have a feeling that they're gonna short run these just like they did everything else. Because right now I know they're sold out. I got the last Pro controller in town. Like there's nothing out there. I mean, all the accessories, the cases, screen protectors, everything is sold out. Nintendo wasn't ready for this. They're not ready. They're never ready for anything. I look at my amiibos sometimes and I'm like, you guys are rare little gems, aren't you? Ooh, I need to scan those into Zelda. I haven't done it yet.
I've done it a few times.
I got something new to do. So it's time for you to go and us to get back to The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. If you enjoyed this, like it, subscribe to it. If you're on SoundCloud, subscribe to the RSS feed. Listen to us in your podcasting styles, whatever you like to listen to. I don't know if it'll pull to, like, I think you have to set up a custom one on Google or iTunes or something like that, but I don't know, you're a techie. I'm imagining whoever you are listening right now, you're listening on an electronic device, and that means you know how to program your own podcasting device and pull in our RSS feed into it. It's not that bad. Just use an open source template. I'll help you. I'm not going to help you.
I was about to say, I'm going to hold you to that for them.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I will send you the link. So, I'm not going to give you my email, though.
Personally? You're going to personally send the link to me. Make sure you send it to Tyler from Tennessee.
Yeah, first let me give you my address. You can come over when only my son is here. He'll let you know my email address.
Password, social security number.
Yeah, just all of the necessaries.
Yeah.
You know, just go ahead and stay here till I get home.
List of your worst fears.
I'm going to tell you where my guns are. You know, you can just go ahead and hold them. They're pretty cool. My valuables, you know, if you want to take inventory of them and take them home. Just for insurance purposes, make a list.
Yeah.
Make an Excel spreadsheet. Do you know how to use Excel? I'll help you with that,
I know.
too.
Every time I'm over here, I make sure I take something from your house.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I don't say anything. I just figured you're a klepto and you're dealing with that.
No.
No?
I am, but I'm not dealing with it.
Oh, you are. I'm dealing with it.
It's okay. I leave something, too.
Oh, you do?
I flush it, but I leave something. I leave a piece of myself for you.
Oh, I know. I know everything that you're doing.
Oh, you have your
All of it's obvious. Yes. The bedroom and the bathroom are the two places I'm always watching.
I've never been in the bedroom.
Oh, yes. Yes, you have. That one time.
We promised you wouldn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. I just saw it. Now I've said something. You brought it up.
I'm wearing my hospital socks.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are they grippy?
Yeah, they are. That's what they give in the hospital. And they're not reversible, but upside downable, I guess.
Huh.
Doesn't matter which.
So in case your ankles completely break and you have to walk like this,
or you can just.
like a Silent Hill monster.
Yeah. I saw a few of those in the hospital.
Silent Hill monsters?
Well, they look like it. And they
Did you?
Or like bloodborne monsters, just kind of weave
Yeah.
and then throw a pitchfork at you.
Ugh.